Do you have a bread machine, or are you considering getting one? Some bread machines have the ability for custom settings. I'd like to show you how to set up your custom settings for the bread recipe I use. Now, I have the Zoharoshi BB-PDC20BA as my machine, and these settings should work for any machine that has this custom settings ability. And later on in this video, I'll go over some things you may want to change if your bread isn't coming out the way that you want. Now let's talk about one of the things that I like about my Zoharoshi. It has the ability to have 3 different custom settings entered into the machine. So I can have memory 1 as my bread loaf, and then I have the ability to do memory 2 or memory 3 for a specialty bread that I want to make, or to speed up the process for it just to knead and make everything for pizza dough. Now the Zojirushi also allows you to have the delay start. It's called the timer function. You can go ahead in the morning and put all your ingredients in here, hit the timer function, and then add the number of hours that you want to delay starting it to start the process of preheating, kneading, rising, and so forth. So it gives you also that ability of still getting that nice, wonderful, freshly made bread in the evening when you're just too busy. Now let's set up your custom settings on memory 1 if you have this bread machine. And remember, it's going to be on memory 2 for me because mine is already set up on memory 1. So let's get started. To get to your custom settings, you're going to hit the course up button until it gets to 15. Now, this is 15 memory 1. Mine is already set. You're going to set yours at memory 1 or memory 2 or memory 3, but mine's at memory 1. So I'm going to go to memory 2 at 15. And then you're going to hit the cycle up button to get to your time. So this is at rest. We're going to adjust preheating for 18 minutes. Then you're going to hit the up button on the cycle again. This is going to be for knead, and you're going to set that to 20 minutes. There you go. Now rise 1, up cycle. That's shape, you're going to keep that off, skip it. Rise 1, that's where we want to be, 45 minutes. Hold it and set it to 45 minutes. Hit up cycle again for rise 2. And I have mine set at 25 minutes. So then we're going to go to hit the up button on cycle again. That's going to do rise 3. I'm going to leave it at 0 because I don't need a rise 3. Hit it again. This is our bake time. So we're going to put this to 45 minutes. All right, now hit the cycle button again. This is their keep warm, turn it off. You don't want keep warm on because once your bread is baked, you don't want it to continue baking. And then after that, you should end up with 2 hours and 33 minutes. And the only way that you'll vary is with your second rise number, if you need to increase it by 5 or decrease it some more by 5. And then once you do that, 15 is set, memory 2 is set, you can go in, drop your stuff, press start, and it will start. And then it also tells you what time your bread will be done. Now, let's talk about some issues you may experience while baking bread. First one, why is my bread falling in the middle after it's been baked? There could be 2 possible reasons for this. 1, your dough is undercooked, or 2, it has risen too long for your second rise. So let's look at if your dough is just not cooked fully all the way through. So just add 5 minutes to your bake time. That will help fix that. Now, if your bread is completely baked through and it's still falling down, you need to reduce your second rise time by 5 minutes. And then if it's still doing it after that, decrease it another 5 minutes. And that should fix your problem. This also will help if it happens if you bake your bread in the oven. Next problem you may have, my loaf is lopsided. One side's higher than the other. Or the top of my loaf isn't nice and smooth. It has texture and lots of bubbles and bumps. Well, it's because your dough is too stiff. So if you sit there and you look at your dough while it's mixing and it looks too dry, add a couple tablespoons of water to it to kind of get it more moistened up. Or the easier way is to just decrease your freshly milled flour by 1/4 cup. Dough needs a warm and moist environment for the yeast. So if it's dry in your house because it's dry outside, it's going to be dry for your bread as well. Now the other issue with reversing that, if it's raining outside and humidity is really high, it can still cause a problem. So then you would want to increase your freshly milled flour by 1/4 cup. It's like that perfect little science experiment with that sweet spot that you're trying to hit, which a bread machine makes way easier. Now, to help you with that, to kind of figure out what your temperature is, and especially your humidity level in the kitchen, get yourself a combination of a thermometer, hygrometer. I'll link one down in the description for you that I use, and it helps so much. And don't forget to click this video here to learn more about why milling your own wheat is healthier for you and your family. Sorry. If needed, get a room. Oh my God, he just scared the bejesus out of me.